Hi guys, welcome back. Hopefully today we might finish what we need to do on our launcher. Mostly. Feature complete is the word I'm looking for. Still going to require some testing, but I'm going to send it off to a few people so they can have a go with it just to see if it works, and I'll do my own testing as well rather than fully testing it all and then sending it off and get some feedback on whether or not it works for other people or just me. So the thing that comes to mind, this now we know that really to be exiting that game options and got our instance and our exit button is going to tell us allow public void unsaved changes, and basically button exit or cancel but enabled. Let's build. If the cancel button is enabled, we have unsaved changes. Because that's what we do. That is what we do. Now I could do it as a variable. Since I'm the only coder, I've made notes. So if I was actually going to look at some point, I'd know what I've done, even if I forget. A bit problematic. There we go. But somewhere I can put this on. No. Oh, can I skip that? No. I don't know whether it's complaining about battery life or something else. No. Complaining about not having a headphone. This is annoying, I can't skip. Let's not have it random, we'll have it on. Just for my benefit, more than yours. Bring your own music. All right. Let's find our references. Well, so if the game options instance dot has unsaved changes, So anything in there unsaved. So we're going to allow tabbing, so they're not saving each one. It doesn't matter. So we want to send a message and inform the user they have unsaved changes. So we'll ask, do you wish to save before exit? I'll just take a warning there. And the button's going to be yes, no, cancel, and our message book icon. Well, it's a question, isn't it? Save changes. And dialog result. Yeah. So if our dialog result is yes, we want to save changes. And then that is going to be Options Manager doing that. So we save our settings file. And we don't need, we can have that as single in line. Else, if our dialog result equals cancel, return false. So we're not going to exit the app. Otherwise, no. Don't save and just exit the app. I can get rid of the to do there. And then we'll just exit out of that and just give that a whirl. So we'll just change something, and then we want to exit. Save changes. You have unsaved changes. So we'll just click cancel and exit again. Do you want to save? What did we untick? Let's go cancel all 11 dreadnoughts. Exit. Do you want to save? No. So we run it again, and there we go. All 11 dreadnoughts. So we'll just tick that. Exit. Yes. There we go. And then we'll tick that, and then if we click benchmark, we're out of saving. So really, we should not allow people to go to benchmark. And that's going to be this. Now, what would be the correct thing? So we've got selected index change occurs when the value of the selected index, but then we've also got tab index changed. Let's just see what the right. When this event occurs, you can check the selected index property to determine. Alternatively, demonstrates the use. Yes, that's what we wanted. We want to know what the difference is between the two. The tab index changed refers to the tab key. Isn't that a bit confusing? So we can make a presumption that we're not going to make changes. So this is going to be a quick, easy, ugly hack. So we're going to use the same thing. We're not exiting. Same diff. Same diff. Let's give him a big nose. Now he just looks ugly. Alright. But we're still going to need to remember what our tab is. I've not got any global variables in here, have I? Tab index equals tab control main. tbc main dot selected index, you know, just in case. And we'll just like tab control. We don't need it. We know it was. Just do that. So if we're not going to exit, then tab selected index equals tab controls index. What? Tab index. Is that what I called it? So I did. So we select back the tab panel, else tab index is going to be our selected index because we changed it. So take that and we say switch, and it's like, you haven't saved changes. You want to save before exiting? No. No. Check unsaved. Check unsaved changes. These changes I would just say, do you wish to save? That way it's being reused and we're not specifically saying exit another like. No, that's fine. Did a rename. So when we said we click cancel, don't we have a cancel button? I thought we did have a cancel button. No, it's in here. Let's get this regions closed off. Init. We just call init. And it's a public, so we just what say game options init. else again. Don't really want to do that, do we? We want to know that we've said cancel. Don't really want to bother. What's the best way to handle that? So we've got a benchmark. So if we say no, then we should stay there. But if we click cancel, and really we're going to say if tab main dot selected index equals 0 is greater than 0, because we've changed the tab and we've selected something else. So we selected no. Check save changes. That's a bit more helpful message. We want to check, so unsaved changes. Yes. Ugh. Doesn't really help us with what we want to be able to do. So private void check save changes out dialog result dialog result. still have it as a bool. And then if dialogue result not equal yes, turn false, turn true. Sure. So this will return true if we are, otherwise no. Save before exiting. What's up with you now? It's there. Game options. Instance. It's there. Oh, flip me. Pretending there's errors, and there isn't. I've just managed to break the bloody thing. So that's fine. Then we can just do check safe changes where we actually want to do. And let's not confuse things by having that. If check save changes out dialog result dr. So if we're not saving, else game options .instance.save options manager. Saving the changes. Otherwise, if our dialog result equals dialog result dot cancel, then we restore else. memory save changes. So what do we do? Yeah. Is that it? Else, if our direct result equals direct result dot new, then we say game options instance dot init restore previously saved options changes. Undo any unsaved changes. Go back to the original tab. Otherwise, we just save the settings. Right. So let's test everything. So quick army forming and exit. No, we don't want to save. Didn't save it. Exit. Cancel. We don't exit. Da da da. Yes. And quick army forming is save. Save. So let's just do that this time, and then we go to benchmark. You wish to save? No. Go back. There we go. Tick it again. Cancel. Turn this back. Or yes. And then we'll just exit to confirm that is done. Yeah. Hopefully that's not too confusing for the user. That is what it's all there for. Got any other more to-dos in here? When adding new settings, update the app version and write some code. Yeah, okay. Scrolly thing. Now we'll see if it's glitchy enough for people to notice before we try and do that. Other than that, I think I've got everything there. And we're ready to give it to people. Well, let's do it in release mode. Disable just my code. Okay. Yeah, that's something we need to stick in there. Oh, mod DB we stuck it on. No. Mods. There we go. Archived. They didn't like my article. That's fine. Pin. Right. So just add a new item, text file, a readme. Is that it? Just 3 headers. And the about. Disclaimer. Now we've got to look at GitHub. Now I added in a readme, not that. A license. Right, just got a license. I don't know what the real thing is, but let's. Okay, so I've got a license. Let's see, I want simple, I'm concerned about patents, I care about sharing. What are these? I guess it's all open source licenses. Let's just call it disclaimer, shall we? More than a disclaimer than a license. Could pull up an old license from something else, but so we got Google's licensing. What to keep in mind? No. I suppose that's the other thing over here. Like the last. Maybe stick our ModDB page in there. we go. Build it. All right, publish. Sure, publish it to desktop. CD, DV1, whatever. The application will not check for updates. Sounds about right. Finish. Well, that was stupid of you. So what we do is set up well, that didn't work. Sure, save changes, whatever. Program debug database app publish. All right, so we'll just take these, shall we? So install. It just runs it. So has it actually installed it? Yeah. It's called the Ashes Launcher. maybe people don't want. I don't know whether. All right. Okay. Wait. What? Seriously? Oh. We asked for different versions to come out. Things to try and figure out eventually, but for now. We just want to give them the application, I suppose. What does this do? Don't install. I'll copy that, set that on a desktop, run that. It runs. Build settings. AOTSE. System launcher. What happens with that? We're not trying to debug, we just want to run. Stop. So, start without debugging. Yeah, okay. There we go. Is that our app? Yes. Right, so just copy that, or say add to RAR, to archive, zip, add to archive, RAR it. And send them off to some secret people. Got the README file. There we go. Alright, there we go. Last thing. Alright. Oh, done! Done. I've sent it off. Right. So I did mention testing. And one of the things about testing is I could do an application, well, just add some code which would test the outputs of all the files. I might not need to. He says, of course you do. So I use this Excel sheet for new Visual Basic macro. I could just populate all that. Might be easier, quicker. Right, we do not want to split. I just want to put it in data, and the thing is that it's 1, 2, number 2. Now, so that's following features cannot be saved in macro-free workbooks. To save the file features, click No and choose macro enable file type. Macro. For a bit more useful. Now then, just clear that, save that, run the macro. Okay, file not found. Settings.ini. Slight mismatch. Step into, and then what? F8. Stupid thing. Whoops. Alright, continue. Go for it. Yeah, what is it? Is it one? Number 3. Row 3, okay. That's because we played some multiplayer, it's a bit dodgy. Still a bit dodgy. There we go, it's better. It's fine when the multiplayer game settings is all different. I don't care about that. So, can I just say run a macro easy? I guess not. And have it there, and suppose we'll have this here, and then we get our app, and then we say difference, yes, and then we go line never, save, run. I guess there we go. So that works. Cursor scale. Not exactly perfect, is it? There you go. Yeah. Steam avatar. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, pan alt. Ooh, there we go. Let replay. Yeah. Yeah. forced up. Yeah. I mean, the only other thing I haven't tested is actually running in the actual game and making sure it reads the settings. I think that's the big feature. That really needs testing. Hey Tag, how you doing, fella? Let's see. Let's get full screen. There we go. Set. Let's see, borderless windows. That's 11. Vulkan. I'm just doing testing, seeing that the settings are coming across as expected, really. So if you want to try this out, mate, it's ready. Ready to break your files. It's fine. I'll send it to you in Discord. But if you want to try it now, where did I save it? Not that one. Let's just go put this so I remember where it goes. And oh, there you are. If I do that, will it open a message yet? Okay, so ignore that first message. There you go. Check that out. Let me know if it actually opens and works. Hopefully it will. You'll have .NET Framework installed, won't you? It's the only thing I can think of which would probably throw up some errors. Just not having that. But I think Windows has that as default now. Could be wrong. Point lights off, point lights high, glare quality off, low, medium, high, terrain, off, low, which is mid, because ultra is high. There you go. Put that back to what we had it on. Shading samples, a bit low, medium, high again, won't it? No, their numbers 4, 8 and 12, is it? 8, 16, yeah. The other's 12. Nothing, sweet nothing, I'm living in such sweet nothing. So 4, 8, 12. Show quality off. Low. Medium. High. Textures. Mips to remove. 2, 1 and 0. Okay. Environmental effects. Yeah. Cosmetic. Yes. Okay. It's all. Yeah. So, master volume 100, music 38, if environmental effects, which we've thrown in there, 67, volume effect 28, user volume 80, voice volume 25, yeah. What did we have these? Voice volume 80. URI volume. So 50. Master volume was 60-ish. Music volume was off. And our effect volume was 64. I just made that 65. Just save that. Does it launch the game? Yeah, if you first of all just press Control F. So Steam installed game should be ticked because you've got it on Steam, don't you? So that's okay. So just click play at the bottom and it should launch the game, and it will launch it through Steam. This auto benchmark. That's one thing I've not checked. Just make sure if you've made any changes, you say one before you click play. That's the one thing I've just not done. Is if you've not saved the changes, you'll be able to just play it anyway. So GPU focused, CPU focused. And if you look at the benchmark tab as well, you can run the individual benchmarks as well directly from there. And off. Instead of actually setting the auto benchmark under miscellaneous. So you can keep auto benchmark off. Whoops. Oh, that's a bug. Oh. Game options. Button cancel, dot enabled equals false. Yeah, bear in mind it's probably going to complain to you that have you saved changes, even when you have. I've just fixed that. All right. Let's rebuild it. Actually, while we're doing that, I should fix the play button. So we got that. When we go play, we say we just return. So no, we don't. We can save it and then I'll reset it. Cancel. Crazy. No. So that should keep my custom profile. And it does. Well, we can just say enable vsync, play. Do we want to say yes? And then when we run it, we should have vsync. Options, video, vsync, yes. So it works. Get bombs. And that's it. Right, well, until someone comes back to me and tells me are there any other problems. That's that for now. Well, there's only one thing I could think of what I could do. And that is setting up multiplayer matches, since the multiplayer settings are all in the settings file. It would be neat if there's a command line parameter that puts you directly into a multiplayer llama or a skirmish. Can I run it? Yeah. So you're struggling with something? Get rid of my macro sheet. Stay a bit short. Is there anything particular tag? Run it. I'm running the app. Or do you want me to run Ashes? I don't know, is there anything I can make a bit more obvious? I'm pretty much done with this. It runs. Yes. It does run. I should hope so. It runs. Because it just, all it does is, you know, if you created a shortcut in Steam to your game, all it does is like puts a bit of text as a hyperlink, and that's how Steam runs. So it should run just like that. And if you don't have Steam, you can untick it, and I'll just get rid of that modding parameter. The intro video, skip intro movie. I think that's the video you're talking about. So if I untick that and play. You talking about this intro video?
Imagine a future in which humans have become so powerful that they can individually...
Yeah, can't. I know what you mean, the launcher. It would be cool. However, let me show you. So, go up properties. I look at my launch options. I've got no launcher in there. Let's remove it from Steam. So we'll do that. And now what I'll do is I'll just go back to here, click play. Oh, I'm not getting rid of that. So I now get the launcher. Let me just fix that little bug. Oh, I can't do that one, can I? Oh, game options. I'm getting distracted. Right, so run the app, and we now know that when we click play, I'm going to get that launcher, that stupid launcher. So I'll go in here and let's set the launch options. So I'll put it here. So no launcher. So I'll click OK. Now I'll click play and I'll get a warning that's probably hidden behind many screens now. There you go. Ashes of the Singularity escalation is attempting to launch with the optional parameters. If you did not request this launch or do not understand, select cancel. Well, I did request it and I do understand, so I'll click OK. It works. It works. But it's that stupid pop-up menu. It's annoying.
In which humans have become
That's what it was. It was that pop-up menu. So you can do it, but you're better off setting it up. That's why it did work. But you're better off setting it in here because you've got that pop-up window and it's buried. There's no way to see it. That's all. That's why. So it's a bit more intuitive to do it that way, and I could probably find a way to populate it in here. Oh, cool. Got that. Well, there's still some bugs with it. I've just fixed 2 and I've seen a 3rd when it comes to saving and resetting. But other than that, hopefully it's all functional. But if you just test the options as well, I've just gone through my Excel file and tested it that the outputs are what they should be. But hopefully they'll also be what the game expects and it won't throw any problems with settings. Other than that, thanks. Yeah, well, I'll just fix these bugs and then I'll wait for feedback from the others and see if there's anything else I could do on there. But yeah, like you were talking before, there's stuff I can do to help you with your modding tools or whatever, let me know. I'd rather start looking into modding a bit more myself. I don't know, but it all looks very complicated. But I did notice, I don't know if you've seen it, someone I was actually working on some like modding app that's 6 months ago, and I came across it entirely by, I have no idea how. It's like one of these reset itself in some way, or there was nothing in there. But now obviously, well, it's September, and then we can jump all the way to February. Yeah, unless I saw it on your modding channel. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that someone was working on their own custom created modding app. This guy, Phil Doe. Is it him? Oh, I'm getting confused with someone else. Yeah, I think he just does maps. But yeah, there was something out there. Let's have a look without showing off anyone on your channel. Could be Zicarus. If that's the guy, is he continuing on with it? Because what he had, he seemed to be pretty good. It's just that he stopped working on it or something. Zicarus. Yeah, there we go. Let's do a search. Let's jump to it. Oh, is this is our secret channel? I can't find it. Maybe he didn't post it in here. It was somewhere else. He's not showing up as even as speaking to anyone. So yeah, it's just literally 6 months ago. And nothing else posted about it. So yeah, maybe he is still continuing on it, but it's one of those things where you're working and managing your time, and you play video games more than you actually do the what you're supposed to be doing. So really, we'll just do public void. Game options, really, maybe. Yeah, it was doing a scenario editor. That was it. Yeah, I remember you saying it's pretty open-ended, so the only thing is you've been modding in this game for what, last 2 years? So you know more what is lacking and what requires making easier to do, simplifying processes. Well, 4,000. Yeah, that's a lot of code to be editing by hand. Yeah. So at some point you want to talk shop and start planning on something where we can help you to do this easier. Then let me know. Honestly, my schedule's wide open at the moment. It might change. Hopefully it might change in the future, but I'll still have time. It'll just mean that I'll have time and a bit less time, but money. And I need money at the minute. I'm hoping that come next week I'll have a phone call and I've got a job offer. So yeah, but it'll be like also potentially working at home as well, so I won't have to worry about travel time, so even better. But there will be training and that will take a few months, so, but I will say hopefully I'll get the job. If I don't, then I'll still have plenty of time. So right, what we're going to do, we've got options manager. Really, yeah, I could start a scenario editor. I just like I say, I need to understand the format of the files and what's expected in there, and whether, you know, whether it's a variable, whether it's constant, stuff like that. So I had a look at that little modding guide. That Schism posted here. It's not for the faint of heart. I've not even really started reading it. I just looked at it and scrolled, and it's like, yeah. But then this could be out of date as far as I know, because General's Gentleman made changes a few versions back, again about 6 months ago, added columns and stuff. So I don't even know if this is up to date, out of date, because it's saying it's actually 2.2, so it could be that this needs updating. Modding Skype channel there. Just a few lines. A few thousand lines. Oh yeah, if this is up to date, then, you know, this will come a long way of helping me to come up with it. The other thing I need to think about is the interface. That's going to take a while. I just need to plan it all out and decide how everything should be laid out, because when I did this custom launch, how you see it now was not how you saw it when I started. So I really did that without too much of testing, and I'm not going to do what I was planning on doing. I'm going to stick options manager in game options, or will I? No. A paid job would be nice. Well, I don't know how good that would be for them. I think he's investing all his resources elsewhere, not particularly invested in other stuff, but hey, sure, promote me. This is just a hacky little fix. Then we said we're in main, aren't we? And on play. What is this? Game options. For instance. Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure I'll be able. What are we making? A scenario editor? Because if someone is already making one, and if he's actually working on it and continuing on it, then maybe it's conflict of interest. But literally, if he's not done anything in 6 months, then I'd be like eager to just well, okay, well he's not working on it yet. I'll make it because, like I said last time, it's a learning experience for me. Right now, I'm just trying to improve my skills in using .NET. I've got lots of skills in C# because I did that in Unity, but now I need it to do it in .NET to make me more employable. Because right now, people are not impressed with my Unity skills. Well, there's that as well. Working with others, I'm not opposed to it. You know, it's all good to me. Whether or not he wants to. It's also whether it's like, how good is his coding? Hopefully he's not spaghetti coder. Right, we got the play button, we had that. What else? We'll tick that and we go benchmark. No, we don't want to save our changes. Will it reset cancel anyway? Oh, that's stupid. I can put it in there, can't I? It is in there. Yeah, well, like I say, no, we don't want to save, so it's undone that. I'm open. If you want to get in touch with him, let him know. Cancel. 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 What was I doing this button for? I thought we just had a problem. Save. Yes. Oh, of course. Of course. When we save, it doesn't remember we saved it. So let's make it a bit obvious that that's the case. Save. Yeah. Let's put it in there. To do hide behind game options. I'm glad you like what I've done. Hopefully other people will. I mean, the interesting thing is it literally could be reused for every other game Stardock has made that I've seen that I can test, because the format of the file in Sins of the Solar Empire is the same, apart from they don't use an equals sign between the setting name and the setting value. That's not a problem. And even Galactic Civilization, the format is exactly the same, it's just repeated. But I don't play those games, so, and they're old, so I don't know whether people would want a custom launcher for them or not. It just seemed a bit more obvious to do, given how Escalation is, where it seems to remove settings for people. I don't know whether that's a bug or it just determines that the hardware just can't cope with it and just disables stuff anyway. So it allows them to do that. It allows them to actually change the settings and then go straight into the benchmark as well. So it's good for benchmarking, really, more than anything. They can play with the settings and run a benchmark. You now know how to code. Cool. Coding's easy. Getting started to coding is easy. It just gets more complicated when you've got something complex to do and you're not sure how to do. You're joking. You should learn to code. In fact, you're already coding, mate. You're scripting. And most languages these days are scripts. So you're already a coder and you didn't know it. So let's rebuild that. Strengths and weaknesses in many things. I've been coding since I was 16. It would have been sooner, but I never knew you could code on your Amiga. And the shop that my dad bought it from didn't include the coding manual that's supposed to have been included with an Amiga. So, hey, just start practicing, do some tutorials. I mean, I've only been coding in visualstudio.net for a few months now. Before that, it was Visual Basic. And that was way back in college. And college was like 15 years ago, at least. Yeah, well, it's a good thing to do. I mean, that's the one thing I've never done. I've never got into modding, ever. I've never modded anything. This is like the first thing I've ever really done close to modding something for a game I've played. I literally just lacked the skills and knowledge, and I still lack some skills and knowledge that I'm embarrassed to admit, like not knowing difference in encoding formats for text and whatnot. So, I mean, one thing I wanted to look at was the replays, but it's all gibberish to me. It's not a secret, mate. Stream. You're alive on stream. Well, that's where people do go into modding, isn't it? It's something they want to change and want to do. It's like, you hear all these success stories, don't you? Like back in Half-Life and Quake days, where they made mods and then they turn into game studios. Which is cool. But yeah, it's only... You're not going to do it unless you want to do it. I mean, this is why I did this. This is literally the first time I wanted to do. I mean, way back when I was into Command and Conquer and I was thinking of creating little map editors, but people had already done it years before I even considered it. Ooh, you don't like escalation much. But you see, you must like something in it because you're there and you want to actually change it for the better. I mean, I don't know if it was you or Creature was talking about, it's literally not knowing what's killing my units and stuff like that. Forge Alliance, yeah. So I had an idea for a mod, but I had a look in the files and I don't think it's possible. And it's literally, I mean, I have 2 ideas, but it's all to solve the same thing. So Tech 1 frigates are useless, like mid-game onwards. They're pointless, unless you want a fast response team and they're not going to get obstructed by a couple of Tech 2 anti-frigate cruisers. Well, as soon as you get a couple of anti-frigate cruisers mixed there in an army, your frigates aren't going to survive. They're the first things to die straight away and will just melt. And it's like, why are they dying so fast when the opposing army's got like 2 anti-frigate cruisers in there? It's because the other units they've got in there are too powerful that I think they're overcoming the frigates easy because there's just that many. Now I saw there was like an accuracy column. So how accurate is the weapons? Well, I don't like, that's RNG. It's like XCOM 2. I like XCOM 2, but I hate the RNG in it. Really do. Really hate it. But I didn't see something where you could say, right, for every single unit, whether it's Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech 3, what is the accuracy against another unit? So we've got our Tech 1 frigates, and their accuracy for Tech 2 and Tech 3 is likely 100% across the board. Yeah. But let's say Tech 2, and we'll go with the Athena, the cruiser for PHC. That would have, let's say, 100% accuracy against all of the Tech 2 cruisers and Tech 3. But for frigates, I think that accuracy should be lower. Because while it's going to one hit an individual unit, I think that given that it's a Tech 1 unit, it's faster, it's more mobile. So maybe then it should be like 25% chance of being able to hit it, or 25% of the firepower that hits it to get rid of the RNG. I mean, that's what I was thinking of, where frigates would then be less cannon fodder and could survive, have a bit more chance of surviving and being useful. Because right now, they seem to get eliminated before they can actually even start firing. But again, when you've got Quanta in there and weapons and armor upgrades, it's hard to judge that, because then the enemy could have just invested a lot into weapons damage and you don't know. several ways to play. So what? Having multiple options. Showing that there's more options there rather than one. Yeah, I think I get what you mean. So if you don't generally come across a noob, they will just create ground units and neglect her. That's what I did when I started. And I was playing against someone in a ranked match yesterday, and I'd never seen him before, but he was just doing ground spam. He literally spammed me. He overwhelmed me in ground spam, and I was preparing for her and everything. But I think my downside is I should have spied them on a bit more and also prepared a few defenses. But yeah, I think really all you want to do is provide options, but ultimately also a way of, if not to punish the player too harshly when they make a small mistake. So I could lose a match if I lose one army. The match is lost for me really, because the other player's been able to count more units quicker than me, and there's no real way for Substrate to counter that other than being able to use orbitals really. But now they're more expensive, so even they're not as much good for overcoming a mistake like within the first 20 minutes of a game. Yeah. Yeah, I also hate the PHC Athena, as they can shoot ground targets and units simultaneously, while the Dominator can only target buildings now. So yeah, that was a change. I didn't realise it, but the Dominator now can't even do splash damage against units. It's like, why? It's literally, okay, so the Dominator now will only attack structures. Okay, fine. Stupid, but fine, because it's a blanketing effect. It's like, come on. It's like the Athena. But yeah, Reclamation's in there as well. Yeah. I'll finish him before very quick. Yeah, but the Destructor can't even do splash damage against units that are next to structures. Seriously. And then the only other thing is you've got that big metal tank that works as it. So PHC suck long range. Reclaims, yes, they've been talking about that since the start, haven't they? But we're not going to get reclaims anytime soon. Just like we're not going to get naval now. I was hoping that we might get naval part of the DLC they're working on, but no. Instead we're just going to get the air transports, which will make up for it. Which I guess is going to make the majority of the DLC. I was speaking to someone else about that. And I was saying, yeah, come on. Naval units, surely will come. Optimistic. But no, after seeing another post from Dragonor, it doesn't look like naval's even on the cards. I think we might see a third faction later on next year. But without walking units as well, I think. Because they need to sort the pathfinding out as it is anyway. The pathfinding's rubbish. It's atrocious. It takes the longest route rather than a straight line. Yeah, I don't know whether it's technologically allowed in Ashes yet. Have they allowed that? Yeah, we could use the 2 races for walking units. It depends what their priorities are, what they really want to do. I know air transports are going to be in there. We're going to get some new scenarios. We're going to get new maps. But what's easier, to add walking units or a 3rd faction? Now, I mean easier, like time-wise. What's going to be the quickest way? I'm going to guess walking units. So we'll probably get some new walking units for the 2 races. I'm guessing it really depends how the engine is and what it can cope with. This is my brother-in-law who's messaged me. Yeah, a new faction would, I'm thinking a lot of balancing. That'd be most, but then yeah, you've got literally, you've got to make an equal amount of units or equivalent amount of units as well. So to add a couple of walking units in there, so walking might take setting up the rigging and the animation to work in the engine might take some time. But then, yeah, you're only going to create, what, 2, 3 walking units for both factions? You know? Maybe 4 new units. A couple of them walking. Maybe another other. Who knows? I know it's not enough, but we're getting air transports. See, filler. So we're getting filler in there. So so we'll get some more units. So we'll have 2 or 3 new ground units, walking units, and then we get our 2 air transports. Actually 4 air transports, because I think you get a medium and a heavy air transport. So I think that's my expectations. That's my current line of thinking. Could be totally different, could be totally wrong. And we'll see when it comes out. If we get more, great. You know, I love to be proven to be disappointed. I love to be disappointed. Transports. Yeah, because you'll be able to transport juggernauts across the map fast. It's going to open options, isn't it? You can start dropping armies behind enemy lines. That'd be great. Instead of trekking them across there, get a transport, ship them off to a centaurian generator without having to fight your way through every single uncaptured node. And yeah, get scouts going in there, get air units in there. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I think that will happen, won't it? More people start using air with these air transports to protect themselves and try and lock down zones. Well, it's definitely going to add some interesting strategic options in there. Should be fun. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to carry juggernauts. It'd be interesting if we could carry a dreadnought in transport. That'd be brilliant. At least carry one dreadnought. You know, that'd be cool. Oh, my sister's messaging me. Popular today. Yeah, it should be. But really, what choices can you get with in the minute without escalation in 10 minutes? There's literally, you need to get frigates out so you can capture resources. You need to get your cruisers because the other guy's got to do cruisers. You need to do your quanta because you're going to get out quanted and suck. So that's your first 10 minutes. It's literally then at that point you can decide, well, am I going to do some air units? What orbitals and what tech trees am I going to unlock now? But you're eventually going to go there anyway. Maybe. It depends. I just feel as though like you're literally everything the game's given you, you have to do it. But I absolutely suck at doing it. Every time I play a multiplayer game, someone's always doing it better than me, and I'm the guy who created the bleeding economy guide. Just goes to show you don't have to be the best at something in order to talk about it, write about it, make a video about it. You don't have to be the best. What time is it? 2:45. Alright. The Jupiter incident. Nexus. Is that the video game Nexus the Jupiter incident? Or are you talking about... No, you're talking about the Nexus. Of course, the base. My head's totally well away. Well, that'd be interesting. I mean, one thing I thought about for the use of the Nexus is that since people want to have a commander, is literally have the Nexus turn into a commander, or at least have the Nexus you know, like transform to be a commander. So you've still got your base and you've got your commander. You could lose one or the other, but still be okay. So they use your nexus, but you still got your commander. But if you lose both, then it's game over, and that would be more late game, because it'd be extremely expensive to create your commander. But then you could have an option to have your commander start off, and then you could have upgrades for your commander as well. And then you get other things in there like they never used, like the power regulator is actually supposed to be a power plant. That was supposed to be a power plant, but they just turned it into a tech building. So, you know, I remember Jadjanol was talking about having another resource in there, but I don't think it was going to be power. I think it was going to be literally another resource that can be collected. But again, that's just ideas. I think he bans around a lot of ideas, and then I don't know whether he has a book and remembers it. Yeah, could you get the Nexus to turn into something else? I'm sure you could. It's just a switching of animations. But yeah, that's an idea. It'd be cool, actually. I think that getting that would actually get a lot of the Supreme Commander fans over the fact of just having a commander unit which can do something, which can fight and also build, would also be a fasting building rate. Well, you could do that as well. It's literally, why could you then not, when you've got your commander unit, build a nexus on top of all the Terranium generators, and then you've got multiple bases, and then you're protecting yourself that way as well. But then, of course, I don't know what it would add. I think it would like more like mini nexuses, so they're not as powerful as the original nexus. To be smaller ones. Yeah. But hey, mate, you're on live stream. There's no secret here. Anyone's watching, there's like one other person maybe watching on Twitch along with you. Say hi if you are. So, yeah. But there are some good ideas. Get naval units in there. Why don't you make naval units? You can just make them sail across the lava maps, and then just tint the lava to be blue. Yeah, that's the sort of idea that I think would work, literally, where you'd upgrade the Nexus and transform it into a unit. Yeah. Maybe vice versa, who knows? Who knows what the options are. All good stuff. But yeah, I suppose at some point I should just have a look at this modder's guide. In fact, what I might do, just so I get an idea, is just create a unit viewer. Might do a unit viewer first, where it'll load up any of the units that are in game and just display all its stats and maybe have a little comparison tool to compare each unit against each other. I mean, that might be interesting. But then it is literally like knowing how I would load those models and everything that goes with it. Because they are like glowing parts and stuff. Understanding, yeah, the masks and the textures. And they're all FBX. They even got stuff that's excluded. But yeah, it's just another idea I had. Like I say, get in touch with that Zacharias dude if he wants help with his editor. I'm up for it. Yeah, well, hopefully that'll change. I mean, when is Star Control due for release? Next year? That's just the early access release, ain't it? What does Steam say? Oh. Final release. It's really going to hinge on this, ain't it? Well, they're going to have a world maker and a universe creator. So I bet they don't even have a release date in mind at the moment. They might loosely say one. I want to say 1 year, but it's going to be 16 months surely. Depends how much they've done. I've not been following this, so I don't know. And then it depends whether or not they still want to come back to escalation, because they might turn around and say, well, let's make Gal Civ 4. Or we're now making Sins of Solar Empire 2, so half our team are off helping Ironclad. Yeah. Time will tell. Yeah, that's where modders need to take the mantle instead and work on it. If what you say, they've got all the tools, what work, then we just need to add our own little things in to make things easier. But yeah, not easy when you're managing life with other stuff. So, I'm rambling. I know. Well, yeah, I'll definitely have to check this out. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Get Zacharias to get in touch with me. I'll take it from there. I'll have a word with him and see what his plans are, and see if we can create something easier than using Notepad++ to edit all this stuff. Right, I think I'm gonna get off. I'm going for my sisters for some tea later, and I want to just go and say hello to my parents since I've not seen them for a couple of days. It is New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year's. Whoops. There we go. I'll keep camera on. I'm just hiding stuff while I do stuff. But yeah, good chatting with you, Tag. I hope you have a good New Year's. And hopefully we can create some cool things next year for escalation, and see what we can do, really do. You know, I think if we can start creating modding, sod Steam Workshop, sod that, we'll create our own little workshop until they decide they're going to implement it, because I don't think that's going to happen. If they're working on this mini DLC as well, workshop at the end of next year. So we'll just create our own tools and make it easier for people to find all the mods and whatnot, like a wiki page or whatever. I don't know, but there are people out there who want to see these mods and whatnot, and I'm sure there are people out there who want to do it. I've already got the eModders channel. Yeah, yeah, that's my thinking. Yeah, me too. I'd hope I'm wrong. It will come, just not anytime soon. That's it. So literally, we as a community just need to step up and push forward with it. Otherwise, escalation is just going to die. I mean, it will just die because people are just going to see it. It's come out for several years, and while there's small updates and whatnot, it's not really captivating an audience to stick. Well, multiplayer, really. I think that's the thing. What needs attention, and the only way we're going to get that is, like you say, making new units and stuff. Open up options, provide new strategies, new things to. Yeah. So yeah, come on, 2018 for escalation is going to be the year of the community, I reckon. It's time to step up and do it all. So I've done my launcher. You're working on your scenario and your big cool unit. I love that unit, by the way. I've not built it as you should build it. It's literally I just used the modding tool and put it out there. I was slightly disappointed because it did roll over all the structures in there. But I think that was a good thing because that's balance, isn't it? It's like a good anti-unit, but it's going to get wiped out by base defenses because it's weak as watered down Vintor. I think there are more people who want to get involved in modding. They just don't see it. I mean, I got put off when Dragonol talked about bot modding. He said, I only want to see serious modders, he said. But I think there are more people out there. There are people who are creating maps for sure. I mean, you saw that guy I mean, I don't even know what's happened here. Mod Showcase is like totally collapsed on me. I can't even see a new unit you posted in there. What this guy, Phil Doe, he's been making maps. So if you don't know him and he's not invited to the modders, I reckon he's someone you should get out there and get in touch with. So, you know, they're out there. You just need to get a beacon shining so they can see you and realize that, you know, I mean, literally go post everywhere. Post yourself tag on Steam, on our Reddit, on the ashesgame.com forums, and on here, and just put out a call for people who want to do modding, whether that's creating maps, creating scenarios, creating new units. I think that's the only way you can get people to do there. So that's what I reckon you should do. You should advertise it more, mate. I think you like, and Creature are like the unofficial leaders of modding, you know? Just because you've been there since the start, you can help a lot of people. Hello there, Rip You Daman, and I do. Making the units non-repair. Yeah, certainly would change gameplay. Just get rid of the repair bays. Well, and the medics. More disposable units. You'd have to have substrates to have non-regenerative shields, probably. Good, go for it. When I wake up New Year's Day, I want to see all these posts of you posting for people to come join the modders. And I can always make a little modding app, which will I can stick on the launcher. That's the other thing. I would just create a little thing which does, like, I don't know, there's like an app out there which handles all the modding. You know, just manage all the mods and whatnot outside of the game. Oh, there we go. Rip you, the man. Rip you. I'll just call you Rip. So Rip, there you go. Creature is working on a mod, just what you are asking for. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, because Creature's also, he must be working on a few things, unless it's the same mod. Because he showed me his mods few months back when he just came back, what he'd been working on. That was cool, where PHC more spam units and Substrate are more focusing on less units and more Quanta, I guess, was it, for upgrades. Use the game code coder. There we go. Right, oh, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, good chatting with you, Tag. I'll get off now. Yeah, have a happy new year, and let's catch up soon. I'm on e-modders, so take care, mate. And thanks to everyone else who's been watching. Stay tuned for more videos. If you're not on YouTube, I'm on YouTube. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Shut up. Bye.